Hi everyone, so this is the first video about taking advantage of opportunities and really giving it your all. So I moved back here, I live in Newbury in Berkshire, at the beginning of the year, kind of January time, from living in Sheffield for about 5 years for university and working as a full-time head of digital for a local web design company. I always had my business kind of on the side, ticking along, when I was at university, and I had it alongside my full-time job, but it was really, really difficult when you're dealing with clients every day in your full-time job. And then you come home in the evening and you deal with your own clients in the evening, and then it gets to the weekend and you think, oh, I'll just catch up on that client, I'll just do that task, I'll just work on that sales lead. And actually what you find is you get burnt out, and that's almost what happened to me. So me and my old boss decided to part terms last year, and I decided to move back down to Newbury in Berkshire and start my business full-time in January. So I kind of parted everything in Sheffield, left it all behind, and jumped straight in down in Newbury. So business-wise, the thing that always worked when I worked for head of digital for a web design company was networking. I'm a people person. I do really well in front of people, talking to people, getting a vibe from people, kind of conversation, that type of thing. Far better at doing that than I am sat behind a screen trying to email a load of people, cold emailing. Hate it, can't stand it, doesn't work, in my opinion. So the first thing I did was literally go on Google and look up every networking event that I could find within like a 30-mile radius of my house. So I decided that getting myself in front of people, getting my brand in front of people, talking about what I did would help me generate a little bit of buzz, generate a bit of energy around what I was doing, and then I could start to kind of meet people, go for catch-ups, find out about other people's businesses, and hopefully find a way that we can maybe work together. Maybe I can help them with their marketing, they can help me with a bunch of stuff. It's a really good way to kind of start building your first sales leads, if you like, and your first kind of dip in the water in the community. It really, really helps if you go to a couple of events to start with, and then you build out afterwards, because the more events you go to, the more you start to see familiar faces, the more people resonate with you, remember you, you can kind of catch up with them, what's happened this week, how's your business going, how's mine going, and you can really start to get a vibe off them that then hopefully will eventually turn into referrals, both you referring business to them and them referring business to you, because they'll know you and hopefully like you, so they're more inclined to give you business than if you were just a name on an email. The second thing that I did was I looked into the local newspaper. I thought, okay, let's try that. Let's see what PR can do for my business. Now, the interesting thing is that I did kind of an advert, editorial article thingy in the Newbury Weekly News, which is the local newspaper for the area. Now, in the Newbury Weekly News, there's a little section called Business Today. And it's essentially a part of the newspaper where businesses talk about what's going on in their sort of company, mergers, acquisitions, new offices, new team members, that type of thing. So I thought, great, this is exactly where people that I want to get my business in front of are going to look. A lot of the businesses that I work with haven't delved into the digital marketing world that much, so they are looking for a way to maybe market their business in a little bit of a different way. So they look to the newspaper to give them ideas. That's just kind of the traditional way that a lot of my clients tend to operate. Some of them come from the internet, some of them come from my own digital marketing, but a lot of it is kind of referrals, word of mouth, and traditional media that they normally consume, which they've been using to get their customers up till now. So I did an advert in the Newbury Weekly News, and the interesting thing, like I say, was it didn't get me any direct sales leads, any direct website traffic, pretty much at all. The interesting thing that it did do is everyone I meet seems to have seen that editorial in the Newbury Weekly News. So it gives me some clout when I have a conversation with somebody that, oh, this lady's been in the Newbury Weekly News. She's obviously good enough to be in a newspaper, so maybe she's worth having a conversation with. The more PR you have and the more communication you have and the more you get your brand and your name out there, the more people start to actually take you seriously and listen to what you have to say and give you the time of day, basically. So it's a really good kind of brand building, community building exercise. The next thing I did was sort out my social media channels. So I do social media for a living, but I really think that in the space that I'm in, you can spend so many hours doing your own client stuff that when it comes to doing your stuff, it pretty much doesn't get done. So you have to allocate a certain amount of time to working on your own social media and working on your own marketing to make sure that when someone looks at it, they go, ah, she clearly knows what she's doing because hers is damn good. So I'm going to go with her too. So that's kind of a few of the opportunities that I took advantage of. The social media in the small community that I live in is huge. Everyone knows everyone. Everyone interacts on Twitter. Everyone interacts on Facebook. LinkedIn's really vibey. It's a really, really great place to connect and interact with your community and really build that brand and build that momentum. Now, all of these opportunities that I've had with networking and social media and PR have lent themselves to more opportunities in the future. So I'm looking at doing speaking gigs with a couple of business industry like exhibitions and seminars that I've been invited to go on as a keynote speaker. Now, I'm 23 years old and this business has been going full time for about 7 months. I'm now taking on another member of staff to help me because my workload is ridiculous, which is great, but still ridiculous and crazy busy. So it's amazing that I'm going to get to be a keynote speaker at an exhibition. It's something that I never thought actually little old me would be getting to do. Similarly, I've now been nominated and shortlisted for the Digital and Social Media Award at the Newbury Best in Business Awards 2017. I'm nominated against some of the biggest social media agencies in West Berkshire, little old me. And that's because I was told that these Newbury Business Awards were being held last month and that the application deadline was in 2 weeks' time. I was actually going on holiday at the time, and that I should enter because a couple of people said, do you know what? Try it. Give it a go. You do social media for a living, you do digital, you know exactly what you're talking about. You have loads of clients that love you, so you really should give it a go. And I thought, do you know what? The worst thing that can happen, bearing in mind they're free to enter, by the way, the worst that can happen is I don't get through. Worst that can happen. Haven't spent any money doing it, haven't spent loads and loads and loads of time. It's an application, it's essentially a Word document, send it off. So I sat on my plane, coming back from Tenerife, and I wrote out my application, had a screaming kid next to me, not so much fun, but wrote down my application, sent it all off, put all my stats in, put all my reasons why my business is really good, how I do things differently for my clients, showcase that through the data, the analytics, kind of proof. And then basically sent it off to this guy who runs a creative company. So that was a bit of kind of an interesting play. And sent it off to him, and it came back, yeah, you have been shortlisted, which is amazing. So now I've got all this free PR, all of this free press, because it's run by the New Weekly News. So the New Weekly News are going to feature me as a shortlisted candidate, free PR, free bit of sales and marketing, who doesn't want that, right? And I might get some sales leads out of it. And if not, I'm going to have a cracking time at the gala dinner that's an awards ceremony for all the businesses that have been shortlisted and local businesses in the area are attending too. So it's a networking event. So ding, 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 great thing to do. So I'm looking at doing more of those, more awardy thingies, but that's another subject. Now, I wouldn't have known about that if I hadn't have gone to a networking event called Business Biscotti. I met a lovely lady called Rachel there who happens to be involved with the New Weekly News as an account manager. She told me about the Business Awards, and then a couple of my friends in the industry recommended that I join and start it. Recommended that I apply for it. So I got to do something that's really quite amazing off the back of just taking advantage of the opportunity that was there. I could have gone, well, I'm never going to be shortlisted, so what's the point in even trying? But actually, taking advantage of that opportunity has now led to more PR, more sales. It's now hopefully going to lead to an award. So then I can call myself an award-winning digital marketing agency, which is great again for brand building, credibility, reliability, all that kind of stuff. And it's just a great fun thing to do. So I highly recommend taking advantage of every opportunity you have, both in business and kind of as an entrepreneur yourself. Take advantage of speaking gigs if you get offered to do one. If it's not paid, so what? Maybe you're just not that experienced enough to get paid yet. I'm not, I'm doing them for free. Hopefully, eventually, I might get paid to do big ones, expos and stuff like that. That would be the dream. But right now, I'm happy to do free ones. I'm happy to share my knowledge like I'm doing right now with you guys and help other people succeed. Help other people with their businesses, maybe they're struggling. Help them with their marketing, maybe it's not working right. I'd love to be able to speak and help people and genuinely give honest value. So take advantage of every opportunity you have, guys. It's done me the world of good. Take advantage of every opportunity you get to talk to people. Never dismiss anybody. You never know who they might turn out to be. And really go at it. Get momentum behind you. Take advantage of the first opportunity. Take advantage of the second. And eventually it's a bit like a snowball. You keep going and going and going. And then you get more opportunities. You get more people contacting you. Fabulous, fabulous way of starting your business. Highly recommend it. So next video, guys, is going to be on not ignoring the quiet person in the room. So a lot of people go to a networking event and want to talk to everyone, right? But then they see that one person in the corner that's really quiet and completely ignore them. Assume that they don't have a business or that their business isn't functioning very well because they're quiet and they're shy in the corner and maybe they're hiding something or they're ashamed of something. And I really think that sometimes the quiet people are actually the most interesting because they often sit and observe the room and kind of go, I want to talk to that person. And then they end up being the most successful because they've been more specific in who they want to talk to. Instead of trying to talk to everyone, scattergun approach, and then never actually forming any relationships with anybody, sales leads minimal. So that's what next video is going to be on. Subscribe to my channel to find out when new videos are coming online and follow me on social media in the links below. Thanks, guys.